When I first started teaching civilians survival, I had a lot of questions come at me from the student base. How do I do what you do? And to be totally frank and honest with you, I had no idea, because I'd been through a filter with Special Forces selection in the military. I'd been through a filter to say, this is what we want you to be able to do naturally. We're not going to teach you how to do it. You either just do it naturally or you don't do it and don't become part of this unit, this organisation and this career line. So we were screened, pushed through a filter that sought out those particular attributes. Those are things like being cool, calm, collected under a lot of pressure, being able to handle life and death stress, thinking under pressure, thinking under extreme pressure, having a high level of self-control, a high level of commitment and resolve to get on and get the job done. Very mission focused. That's what they're grabbing from the general populace through a filter, and that's what we go through to get sorted out as a job. Now, that was very interesting to me, because when I tried to teach civilians survival, they had no idea that such a filter exists, and they didn't have any idea how to make that attribute base come into their own awareness. So I had to actually sit at a campfire and introspectively reflect quite a lot to figure out what was going on. At the very beginning, my explanations are far more simpler than ones that are available in this particular course. The first ones I come up with, I borrowed from the emergency services world. I have a paramedical or military paramedical background anyway, in terms of being a medic on a team, a Special Forces team, for a period of my career. So we get exposed to those type of thinking dimensions. Then what I'm talking about is what used to be referred to as the STOP technique, or the STOP method, which was along the lines of stop, think, observe, plan. Now I added, for my own explanational purposes, and I've seen it since, so it's not like a unique thinking line, to take that into STOPper, which was stop, think, observe, plan, act. STOPper. Or there's potential there otherwise, as far as I can see, to just be stuck in a planning cycle forever, for a lot longer than is useful, as in analysis paralysis. So I put the A on to make sure we move from make a plan and then get on and do it. And then you go back and repeat the cycle. Makes sense, yeah? Now, in a survival environment, particularly sort of lost in the wilderness type thing, or a low speed unfolding of things, rather than the word stop, I inserted the word sit. Sit, think, observe, plan, act. And use that for the first part of my teaching career for the civilian space at the survival school here. And I did that because people tended to chase ground. When we get into that life and death duress environment, the neurology that we've been discussing kicks in, and my brain has got an intense and burning desire to start to take control, to find familiarity, to find something that makes sense to it. So it hunts around and it pushes me to walk further than I want to walk. I'm burning energy, I'm wasting calories, I'm burning up water, I'm wasting water. Okay? And I'm becoming increasingly disorientated and increasingly confused. So I got people to adopt the word sit. Sit down. Anchor your backside to a log, to the ground, to a rock, to a tree. And then do your thinking and observing. And when we think about really, it's fundamentally sit, observe, because you need the data points to be able to do some thinking, and then think, make a plan, and then enact the plan. That's the stopper cycle. Now, I find that an outdated model, but I wanted to include it here in this course so you get the full spectrum of what is available from my experience and my paradigm of how to teach survival psychology, survival mindset, and survival as a holistic subject. So if that's one that works with you, by all means, grab it, take it, embed it, use it. If it's not sufficient depth for you to understand what's really going on, the other psychological and mindset tools that I've offered you should be sufficient in that space. But there's no end point. Those explanations I've offered you here, and the ones I will offer you throughout the course, have continued to evolve. I read more, I learn more, I experience more. It's a continuous cycle of updating the knowledge base. And that's why this course is fundamentally different. because I want to make sure we're true to that ethos of constantly updating the information. It's got to be relevant to what we're doing now with the new information that comes to light every day. We're in the world of information, so we need to tap into that and use it with wisdom.